going on, VC? I'm coming at you at a different angle today. I'm out in my car. I'm in the parking lot of Dunkin' Donuts here, going to pick up my buddy AJ, and we're going on a little road trip today together. So we're gonna go out to New Hampshire. I think we're gonna hit my old store that I used to manage at Bull Moose in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and we might head into Manchester and try and find a couple new spots that I've never been to. So stay tuned, and hopefully this will be an exciting day. Take care. What's up, VC? So we're heading out of Maine right now. This is the Piscataqua River, and if you can see down here, this is Portsmouth, New Hampshire. That's our first destination for the day. We'll be hitting Bull Moose, and I don't know, let's see what we find. Wish us luck. So here we are. This is Bull Moose, Portsmouth, New Hampshire. My old stomping grounds. I actually used to manage this building I don't know, about 3 or 4 years. About 4 years ago. So I have no idea what it looks like inside. I haven't really been here in a few years, but hey, it's got to be good. We got Taylor Swift in the windows here, so let's check it out. Here's my buddy AJ Diggin over here. Looks like we got some pre-owned stuff. Looks like a lot of newer stuff over here. So I can't wait to dig in here and see what we got. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have quite a bit of fun in here today. So, we'll see. I remember putting that Tom Waits poster up there. That was a record store day poster that came in. These are all, looks like DVDs on this wall here. It's changed quite a bit since I was here, but a lot of the posters and stuff are still the same. It's kind of funny.
I know, definitely.
Back here is more used vinyl. But all the new stuff was up front at the front of the store. It's all $3 records on this bottom here. You know, and then they have, you know, soul and jazz, folk. And these are all individual artists on the top, you know, all alphabetized and stuff, so pretty fun little setup. Alright, so we left Bull Moose. I picked up a couple things, not too much. And now we're in Manchester, New Hampshire at a place called Thrifty's that one of my buddies told me about. I had never heard of this place, but apparently this place is pretty huge inside. It's all secondhand stuff. They got electronics. It's I don't know, we'll see. I've never been here, but I've heard good things, so wish me luck.
Okay, I'll swing by on the way back. All right, thanks. Awesome. See you. Yeah, same here. I want to hear the rest of that whole one in there. That's really
I bet you do think it's interesting. All right, I'll see. Look at this place. I mean, they have the Blues Brothers here. This is insane. Here's all the employee pics. And there's just C's and C's of records in this. I'm gonna have to come back and take a full. It's just rows and rows and rows of records. Here's my buddy AJ, and he's already found the one thing that he's looking for today. So this is
get to zoom in.
This is going to be well worth the time. You can see a copy of Frigid Pink up there on the stand, which that might be coming home with me today. Who knows? BBC. So I just got back. From all the footage you saw, I ended up only going to 2 places. I ended up, as you saw, I went to Bull Moose, my old stomping ground, and I went to a new place. Well, it's actually not new, but it's new to me, called Thrifty's, which is in Manchester, New Hampshire, and I highly recommend it. If anybody is ever in the area, the place is enormous. I mean, they had a stage in there. I guess they used to have shows, but I guess I was talking to one of the guys. They no longer have shows in there anymore. But I mean, you should have seen. I should have tried to get a little bit more footage. But I mean, they had guitars lined up all along the ceiling. I mean, they had an autographed guitar by Eric Clapton. They had a Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar autographed. They had a Kurt Cobain guitar autographed. I mean, this place was insane. The amount of stuff that they had in this place blew my mind. I could have easily been there for another day. But I had to get back. I had to pick up my daughter. She was at school, and this place was probably about an hour and 20 minutes or so from my house. It wasn't too bad. So let me show you what I got. I don't know if you can hear it in the back or not, but it's the new Brandy Carlisle. I know I've mentioned her several times before. Brandy is like my favorite singer, my favorite female singer. Her voice is like no other to me. Yeah, it's called By the Way, I Forgive You. And you can hear the title track right now. It's the first track on the record. This cover art, this painting here, this was actually, sorry about these lights. I should probably dim this a little bit. But this was actually done by Scotty Avett from the Avett Brothers, who painted this. This is my first time spinning it on vinyl. I have listened to it a few times online. I streamed it the other day. I listened to it like probably 3-4 times in a row. She's just an amazing songwriter. The lyrics, the stories, she's gets very personal in this album. She has 2 daughters, and she has written a song for one of her daughters, Evangeline, on here. It's gorgeous, and I don't know all the songs on here yet, but I believe it's called "Hold Out Your Hand," and it's just a ripper of a song, and it actually reminds me of the Avett Brothers, the way she does it. Very powerful. It's very moving. is driving. It starts off kind of mellow, and then it kind of picks up. It's got this like kind of like drum that starts coming on, and it just is insane. Very powerful song. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I've like I said, I've only heard it a couple times, but it's insane. And I already know it's going to be one of my favorite records of this year, so I can already tell. Let's see. I only got 2 records at Bull Moose. The other record, Johnny Fritz. This one came out in 2016, and I had not picked it up yet. And I had mentioned Johnny Fritz in one of my last videos. He also goes by the name Johnny Corndog. And this record here comes on the Coke bottle, clear Coke bottle, whatever, yeah. Pretty cool. Jim James produced it from My Morning Jacket. And again, like in his last record, Johnny does a lot of, or actually not a lot, but Johnny's band on this record is pretty much Dawes. It's Taylor and Griffin Goldsmith from Dawes. So like if you like Dawes, this is, I haven't heard this record. I would imagine it's going to be more country. He is more of a country guy. I know Robert Ellis again appears or wrote a song with him on this record. What was I gonna say? Josh Headley, the fiddle player, he did work with Justin Townes Earl. He also is in the band. So again, it's a stellar band. I can't wait to hear it. I know Danny from Not Enough Records recently showed that in one of his videos. He said it was one of his favorite records that had just come out. So I needed to get it, and I found it in the pre-owned bin. You saw the pre-owned bin. I found it in there. It was still sealed, but it was in there. I got it for $11, so I was pretty excited about that. The next batch here I got at the second stop, called Thrifties. So it was my first time there. Didn't know what to expect, because I heard it's, you know, just like a thrift place, but the prices were fair. Like that Nebraska record that you saw my friend AJ holding, the thing was mint. Like that record looks perfect. There wasn't a flaw on it. He got it for $8, and I was pretty jealous because I don't have Nebraska on vinyl yet. There were some things in there I thought were a little overpriced, but there was also things in there I thought were underpriced. So one of the things that I thought was underpriced, I picked up. Because why not? But I have not heard this one yet, but I do have his other record. This is Emmett Rhodes. And if it's anything like the other one that I have, the other one I have, I believe, is self-titled. I can't remember, but I'm almost positive that the other one I have is self-titled, and it is like a lost McCartney record. You would think it's Paul McCartney, you know, just pop, you know, singer-songwriter, 70s. I think this came out in 73. It did 73. It's on Dunhill. I'd never seen this one before. I couldn't pass it up. It was the only copy they had there. They didn't have any other Emmett Rhodes, and I brought it up to the counter and asked the guy if he had heard it, and he was unfamiliar with it. So I'm looking forward to it. If it's anything like the other one that I have by him, it'll be a treat. Emmett does all the work on this. He wrote it, arranged it, produced it, recorded it, engineered it, you name it. Emmett did every single thing on this record. So looking forward to that. This next one, I picked it up and I held it in my hand and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this. I never saw this on vinyl before. And the thing is trashed. The jacket is just nasty. Water damage beyond repair. And I put it back, and then I walked around, and an hour later, I'm talking to my friend. I'm like, I need that record. I've never seen this before. It's Roy Orbison and Friends. And if you guys have ever seen that DVD or Blu-ray, it is just killer. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this, let me just tell you, it's Roy Orbison tracks, okay? It's all Roy Orbison songs. But his band that he has with him, let me just tell you, let me read it, because there's so many artists. We got Roy Orbison. We got T-Bone Burnett on guitar. We have Elvis Costello. We got J.D. Souther. We got Bruce Springsteen. We got Mike Utley. Tom Waits. I think I saw Jackson Browne, Katie Lang, Bonnie Raitt, Jennifer Warnes. Do you get better than that? I mean, if you've watched the Blu-ray or the DVD, whatever, you need to watch this. I mean, it's so water damaged. I don't know. Can you see that? But the record is flawless. It's flawless. I know you can't really see, but there's not a scratch, there's not a blemish, and I couldn't leave it there. And they wanted $10 for it, and I asked the guy because of the condition if they'd take less, so I got it for $6. But I mean, look at the back; it's just demolished. But you know what? I've never seen this before. I love this record, or love this concert, and the record looks awesome. It's not warped. I don't know. I can't wait to listen to it because I love that DVD. I actually just watched that DVD on New Year's Eve with my mom and dad. So I can't wait to spin it. Now this is the first record I found as I went in there, and I was really excited because I never heard this before. I didn't know about this particular record, but it's Warren Zevon, and it's called Sentimental Hygiene. And I saw somebody post this on Facebook on the YouTube page, and I don't remember who showed it. I think it was somebody I don't really speak with that often, but they showed this record, and they had mentioned all the artists that appear on this. And again, like that Roy Orbison, this Zevon, which came out in 1987. Excuse me. This, look, I mean, it's great. It's still in the shrink. It's got the hype sticker. It's beautiful. There's no blemishes on this. But let me tell you all the people that appear on this record. Bob Dylan, Jennifer Warnes again, Peter Buck, Mike Mills, Bill Berry, and Michael Stipe, better known as R.E.M. Brian Setzer, Neil Young, Don Henley, and Flea. So, serious? So, I couldn't pass on this. I've never heard this whole record. I've heard bits and pieces. After that person showed this on Facebook, I needed to check it out because I could not believe that you know, R.E.M. does a song with him. I guess I should have known that, considering the Hindu Love Gods, I think, came out maybe around that time period, where you know, the Hindu Love Gods was a collaboration between Warren Zevon and R.E.M. without Michael Stipe, where they did a bunch of covers, mostly like blues covers, and then they did like a Prince cover. But that was a kick-ass record, and I was able to score that one last year, finally, on vinyl, after having the CD for many years. But anyway, this next one, I will tell you, I know my vinyl tag is like, I don't have guilty pleasures. I do have guilty pleasures. I don't consider them guilty, but I know that they're guilty pleasures because people will rag on me. This next one, is something I never knew was on vinyl until a couple weeks ago, and I was watching somebody's video, and they were out digging somewhere, and I saw this as they were digging, and I started freaking out because I'd never seen this on vinyl before, and I only have the CD, and it's really sappy, and you're probably gonna think it's wicked corny and whatnot, but I love this man, I love this record, and it's Christopher Cross, back of my mind. And when I was a little kid, I used to play this all the time. There was this beautiful love song called Swept Away, alright, and I had first heard it on the TV show Growing Pains with Kirk Cameron and Alan Thicke, and they were like in Hawaii or something, and Kirk Cameron like fell in love with this Hawaiian girl while they were on vacation, and the song Swept Away started playing in the background, and that's how I first heard of Christopher Cross. It wasn't because of the song Sailing or Arthur's Theme. It was Swept Away was my introduction to Christopher Cross, and you know, I have quite a bit of his records now. I just love his voice, and you know, some cool little yacht rock there. So, and look, I mean, come on, look at that. I'll be spinning that thing a ton. I know I will. This next one, I'm hoping it's gonna be good. I don't have any of this person on vinyl. I needed some, and some Dr. John, and it's called Hollywood Be Thy Name. Bob Ezrin produces it. He's produced so much stuff. So hopefully, with him at the helm here, but I mean, he does the Smokey Robinson, The Way You Do the Things You Do, he does on here. He does Yesterday by the Beatles. So I'm not sure. I've never heard this, but I do like Dr. John, and I needed some on vinyl, and I never find any. I couldn't pass on it. It was $8, and I figure this will be a pretty good one. And if it's not, I'll move it. But I'm prepared to like that one. So this last one I picked up, I had never heard. I don't own anything by him, but it's Julian Cope, and I believe it's called St. Julian. Yeah, it's called St. Julian. I'm not really sure what this one's going to sound like. I had only heard a song or two by him, but what I had heard I had loved. Heavy Metal showed a Julian Cope EP in one of his most recent videos, and I was unfamiliar, and I mentioned something about it, and then James Griffiths replied and told me to check out a certain song, which I did. And I forget the name of that song, but I loved it. And it was like this really infectious, really catchy, poppy song that I told him that if I had known that back in the day, that would have been on like all of my mixtapes or mix CDs or whatever I was making at the time. So I'm hoping that this has that same kind of feel. We'll see. I'll get back to you guys, and I'm hoping to become a Julian Cope fan, because if it's anything like that one poppy, just hooky track that I had heard before, then I'll be excited. Thank you guys for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this little road trip. Hopefully I can start doing a little more of these. It's just something I've been wanting to do more of. My favorite videos watching are when you guys go out digging or show places, and you know, it's just enjoyable rather than, you know, watching somebody sitting in their room all the time. So I'm hoping to kind of spruce things up. I'm hoping to make some other videos that are maybe a little more entertaining or whatnot. I have all these ideas and just not enough time, so I'm the brainstormer, not the executor, I guess. I don't know, but thank you guys again for coming along today. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, cheers.